Good afternoon, everyone. It is Dave again with Alaskan Homesteading. Today, I have a greenhouse upgrade project. As you see behind me, there's this open hole in the side of the building, and it's where the fan used to be, or one of the fans anyway. The other fan is, well, it's in pieces. It's very sad. It exploded today when it turned on. This plastic is really old and brittle, and so now it's in about 1,000,000 pieces all over the floor. So I have acquired a new fan that will replace it, and I think it'll provide a much better experience. It's a pretty high quality fan, so let's go ahead and get started. As I mentioned, this fan is very sad. The plastic on it is just, it just falls apart in your hands if you touch it. The plastic is so old and brittle and sun-baked that just the faintest little touch and it comes to pieces. It's done for. So now is the perfect time to replace the fan before it gets too hot in here. This is the replacement fan that I picked up. It is an Air King, a Type 20 WH, a whole house fan is what this is designed to be used for, is ventilating your entire home. It is meant to be mounted on a wall semi-permanently over an opening. It has adjustable brackets that slide out to let you change it for different sizes of opening. The smallest dimension that it'll work with is 26 inches square, so 26 inches across and 26 inches top to bottom. The opening here is 26 by 33, give or take, for the wood that surrounds the opening. So I have no problem fitting this to that opening. It has intake and exhaust modes, so it can blow either direction depending on what you need it to do. In this case, I am going to be using it as an intake fan. It'll be pulling air into the building for the other fan to exhaust. Well, there is the new fan installed. It is really quite something. On its highest setting, it really moves a lot of air through this greenhouse. So much so, it takes a very short amount of time to bring the temperature back down the 3-degree difference that I have set on the temperature controller. So that's a pretty good energy savings, and I like that a lot. I had to mount a couple of boards on the side here to this vertical stud to mount these brackets onto, because this whole fan assembly is meant to fit up to a 48-inch opening in the horizontal there. The vertical 26-inch opening is what was already here just by coincidence. Or maybe it was that the previous owners had a fan like this in mind when they first put this thing together. But at any rate, this was one of these really good Facebook Marketplace deals. This fan, when I priced it out online, I couldn't find it for right around $200 was about what I could find it for. And this thing's in great condition, works awesome, and it was $50. So that was a good deal. And now you get to hear what this fan system sounds like when it's running. Don't let the camera trick you. Those blades are spinning much faster. That's a phenomenon called aliasing that happens with shutter speeds and fast-moving objects. Same with this fan. It's kind of an interesting phenomenon, but boy, that is really moving some air. So I'm pretty happy with this project. This is going to make a major improvement to the air moving in here, the air handling. It takes such a less amount of time to cool it down in here. We should have a much more stable temperature overall, and a little easier time keeping it cool. One of the problems I saw with the greenhouse last summer when we were sort of starting to think about using it was There you go. See, it just finished. It was on for only a very short period of time. One of the problems I saw was that it was hard to keep the air temperature under 100 in here, and it was just too hot. It'd kill all the plants if we had it get that hot. So this should really help. You may also be wondering about this tarp. Well, one of the things I decided I wanted to do is make it a little bit smaller space in here by adding a tarp to keep the heat kind of on this side when I've got the little diesel heater running at night. It had a little trouble last night keeping it warm in here. The problem wasn't so much the heater's capacity, but the fact that it decided to shut itself off. These things have a known issue that I did a little research on, and I found what the problem was. Inside here there's a fan, and the way the fan works, it spins in here, and there's magnets on the back of it that trip a little sensor on here called a Hall effect sensor. It's what detects that moving magnetic field. The point of this is to help the computer know what speed the fan is running and if it's running at all. And if something happens and this fan were to jam up or stop moving, something got caught in it, the system would overheat, because this fan is what moves the cool air in across the heating elements and then out through the duct. So it really has to be verified to be working. Otherwise you could have a fire hazard here with this thing getting overheated. So I had to make some adjustments on the fan to kind of just shift its position on its little motor shaft, and hopefully that will solve the problem and it will stop shutting itself down. We'll find out tonight. Because I was having problems with the heater last night, I brought out the buddy heater and one of these radiant oil-filled electric heaters and had those plugged in and turned on and helping to add some heat. It just wasn't quite enough. So I'm hoping that by cutting off some of the room volume, by adding this tarp, that we'll be able to keep it a little warmer. And there goes the fan again. All right, everybody. Well, that's all I have time for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you are enjoying this kind of content, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. If you want to see more of it, subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.